Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. My name is Fred Bell. I just ruptured Greg's eardrums with that intro, but he wanted energy. And today he's getting energy because what is today, Greg? Today is Warbird Wednesday. What is Warbird Wednesday? Because I know why you put me in this. It's hump day. So thank you, Greg. As I said, this one... You know I'm in real trouble when he actually starts laughing when I put it on. So good job, Greg. We're going to have to keep rethinking the hat contract agreement off the camera there. So today we're talking about an airplane that, we've done the DC-3, the C-47, and where we're headed now is into a lot of the other bits and bobs of our collection. And this behind me right here is a really cool artifact. This is N724CL. The serial number is 19121, a Boeing 727. We're on Clay Lacy Corner here, so we're back with Clay. And this was Clay Lacy's jet. I'm going to tell you about an interesting thing that it did at the end of its life, or in part of its life. This aircraft was also known in the military designation as the military was the C-22. The C-22, Greg, if you know that. Now, it's saying, when did this have military service? Had military service in a couple of different things, Greg. It was used in Vietnam, where they would drop the air stair and they would toss stuff out of the back. It was also used in another version as a military transport. So it's interesting that they'd use a jet that's this big in covert operations, but they did do that in Southeast Asia and Vietnam. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, and we'll give you the plan view of the 720. This is made for really small people, Greg. Do they let them have a carry-on with this? I don't know, but a cute little jet. Greg will throw up the plan view. The Boeing 727 was first flown in 1963. It was introduced in 1964. The production lasted from when they started in 1962 up until 1984, and there were 1,832 built. There were 1,831 delivered, Greg, because there was a prototype.
The Transport Division was planning the plane for intermediate ranges, the 720. And even before the 720 was in production, the company was developing the 727 short-range jetliner, America's first three-jet airliner.
And now, where did this start? First of all, if you're somebody my age, you've flown on this. There is no question you've flown on this airplane if you've flown in the United States, because this thing did a ton of short runway, medium haul trips. It was a backbone of a number of airlines, but it actually started in 1959 with Lord Douglas. He was the chairman of the British European Airlines, the BEA, and he wanted to work with Boeing on an aircraft together, the 727 and the DH-121, the Trident. You ever heard of the Trident, Greg? Well, we got to throw a version of the Trident up there. It was the idea behind it is they wanted a short runway passenger airplane, and that's what they got.
All eyes focus on the 727 as it starts its takeoff roll. Weighing in at about 130,000 pounds, the acceleration is brisk, and the ground run is barely over 3,000 feet. Remarkable for a jet airliner.
This high-lift wing could operate off very, very short runways. For about 10 years, the interesting thing with this was it was the most produced passenger airplane in the United States until it was supplanted a little bit later by the 737, if you can believe that, Greg. The 737 knocked it out. course, we here in Palm Springs, we see a lot of those 737s with Southwest Airlines that's now flying into Palm Springs. Thank you, Southwest Airlines. We will expect our residual check. But the 737 passed it in the early 90s. The aircraft was also one of the most longest in production airplane that has ever been made. Now, I want to go ahead and put this thing down, and I'm going to talk about my Nephabilita. Is that it? Nephabilita? Close enough? Assistant today. Now, Greg, one of the things with air travel, if you remember with air travel, it was you would get dressed up, you'd go to the airport. You're probably of that age, or a lot of people watching this. Now, air travel is a little tougher. So what we're going to do today is we're going to salute all those airline people that, you know, with the COVID and all the COVID challenges, they've had a really tough time. So if you're flying on an airline, be nice to your flight attendant, be nice to the flight crew, because that is a really difficult job. Now, what has Greg got in store for me today? Melba has returned to the house. Melba's Fixins. This is a lemon meringue soda. You know, lemon meringue soda, soda here, soda pie, lemon meringue soda pie, whatever. It is, let's see, you know, I don't think Melba doesn't care about calories. So there are no calories on this. Melba also doesn't care about an expiration date. So again, I joke about botulism, but one day there will be just a black thing that says Fred won't be here due to Greg's poisoning. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, but I want to say, you know, that be nice to your flight crews. Domestic flight service and domestic cargo service can be very, very difficult, and it's not going to get any easier until we get completely out of COVID. But shake those people's hands and be good to them, and also let them know that Fred drank lemon meringue pie unknown soda in their honor. So we're going to give this whole thing a shot here. You know what, Greg? It's not awful. It's not deplorable as some of the other stuff you've given me. The 2 sips, the mandatory 2 sips, but I am going to put this one down. I think we're not going to go any further with this. So the aircraft, you know, it had the engines in the rear. There was an air breather here with the other engine in the tail. Now, one thing about these aircraft, Greg, what was that? They were very, very loud. In fact.
And dragster 726, turn left heading 080, runway 10 right, clear for takeoff.
Okay, left turn 080, clear for takeoff 10 right, dragster 726.
In fact, they were so loud that they were the loudest operating passenger jet in the United States for many, many years. And they reached a point that they were actually banned. You can believe that. They were banned in a lot of countries. Australia, they were banned from operating around 2010 because they were so loud. That you can put a hush kit on them, a shh kit, a whisper kit, but they're very loud. They actually took their last commercial flight was January the 1st, 2019, by an airline operated in Iran, if you could believe that. I think some of them are still tooling around as freighters, but they are no longer flying as passenger aircraft. Now, with a lot of the airplanes that we've talked about, there were other versions. There was a 727-300 that was proposed. That never went anywhere. There was also a 727-400 that was proposed. That became the Boeing 7N7 design, and that evolved into the 757. So it moved into another airplane, which a lot of times these things do. Now, in private hands, some of these aircraft were used, like Clay Lacy used them for, they were used as private executive jets. And even on, and Greg can throw some of them up, we've seen some here at our airport here, 737s, big jets, 767s that are being flown privately. In this case, this aircraft, 19121, did something really interesting. Greg, did you know what that was? It actually, in the millennium, it flew out to Midway, and 40 people on this jet right here, it made history, actually were the first, to cross over the date line into 2000. And so what he did is he went back and forth. So on one side, you're in 1999. On the other side, you're in 2000. Isn't that kind of cool? So I wonder if you were on that flight with your phones, if at one point your phone worked and on the other phone it glitched out for 2000. No one knows, Greg. No one knows. But it actually went out and did that, and then it came back, and it had the little, Greg can get the logo with the Midway and the 2000 on it, and that was kind of cool. Now, the aircraft was eventually recycled, and I have seen, Greg, that you can actually, and we're going to ask somebody else for another endorsement here, plane tags, you can send us a residual, but you can actually buy the skin of some of these airplanes. I have seen, this airplane has been recycled. This was not a 40-person airplane in its configuration as it has now. They took the front of it off, which we have rehabbed, and Greg can actually, when he does the walk around, the entire cockpit section of this airplane is complete. It actually works, and we use it for education purposes. But the back end of the airplane was recycled, so you can go out to plane tags, and you can own a piece of this airplane. Isn't that cool, Greg? You can actually own a piece of this airplane. But these passenger jets continue to go on. What ended up happening with a lot of these, whether it was the Airbus or with Boeing, with 737 MAX, as the fan jets improved, as the jet engine technology improved and the fans got bigger and quieter, these airplanes and all those airplanes in that kind of bandwidth went away, and those anything from 707 on up, what kind of has gone away. There, as I said, they're still operated a little bit as cargo airplanes, but they kind of went by the wayside just because of the noise. And to a certain extent, somebody is out there going, fuel efficiency, fuel efficiency. These guys, like our T-33, this early turbojet technology just absolutely chews up fuel. And what is bad, Greg, in an airline? Fuel cost. So you want to keep your fuel down. So as the fan jets continued to improve, these airplanes became less and less popular, and eventually they have gone now into being recycled, as this aircraft was, but it has a new lease on life with us here at the Clay Lacy exhibit, so you have to come check that out. Now, what was Clay Lacy, or what is Clay Lacy, right? Clay Lacy is an American patriot. And if you want to show your support, you need this American flag hat right here. And you can get this. It's made, it's really nice. Actually, it is a very nice hat, Greg. I like this. So you can go out to our website and pick this beautiful hat up. It has a great American flag. Now, the other thing, I said it last week, what was Clay Lacy involved in? Top Gun, aerial photography. Look at that, Greg. F-14. I am wearing the color, so I am a living product placement. We have this shirt on the site as well with our current 25th anniversary logo. So you get a bonus, Greg, a bonus shout out for 2 pieces of merchandise today. So get on out to our website if you want to pick up that merchandise. Remember, we cannot do this, and Greg will throw up a picture of what this thing looked like when we got it and the amount of work. Now, a Fred fun fact, Greg. Fred fun fact. The wheels on the back of this, where do they come from? They came from an F-16. Those are F-16 wheels. And what was that F-16? That F-16 was a movie prop that we recycled that came in. So we always recycle things in restoration and reuse things. But when you come here, you can win the bet with your friends. You can say, where did those wheels come from? And you can say an F-16 that was a mock-up. Isn't that kind of cool, Greg? I think that's cool. So this is the end of our walk around and our discussion about the Boeing, the 727. Remember, we cannot do these restorations on these aircraft without your generous donation. So if it's on this video, hit that donation link, go out to our website, leave us a donation. Remember, if you're seeing this on YouTube, we need that subscription. Hopefully today we earned your subscription. Greg, we've got over 60 of these in the can. Isn't that amazing? Over 60 Warbird Wednesdays. We can use your subscription. Like us on YouTube, like us on Facebook. I want to thank you for joining us today. My name is Fred Bell. Have a great day.